So here we are at the beginning of day 3. Now I hope by now you have done the work on day 1, you've understood the 5 steps and you understand much more about your energy, and you've started doing the work, or should have completed the work, from day 2 before watching this video, and you've looked at some of the thoughts and the emotions that you have around your big challenge. So tell me a little bit more. I hope that you've been feeding back underneath the videos inside the Facebook group, and also making sure you're getting support from myself and from our mentors. But today I want to show you how you can use EAM to start changing every area of your life. I talked about this in the introduction video and on day 1, that we do actually have a specific order in which to start working through changing your life. There is a process, there is a method to sort out the craziness that can sometimes feel a little bit mad. There is actually a linear way for you to work on it, and that's exactly what I want to share with you today. So today we're going to be looking at the step-by-step way in which you can change your life. And I want to show you what the 10 key areas of your life are. Now, if you're familiar with the Wheel of Life, you might have heard of 1 or 2 of these before, but there are actually other things that you need to include in that, and there is a specific way in which to approach them. But the purpose of today is really helping you to get clarity on your stuck points, where you're feeling stuck, where you're feeling overwhelmed, where your energy's stuck, where your life is stuck, so that we can start to redirect that flow of energy for you. So the question is, are you ready? Now, I just want to put a little preamble around this. What I'm sharing with you in this video is what usually takes me 10 months to share with people, because this is a really high level view of something that we usually dive really deep into. So the reason I'm saying that is because I know with what I share, there are probably going to be a whole bunch of other questions that come up. The purpose of me sharing this is so that you understand there is an order, and to give you a starting place so that you can start approaching these things for yourself in your life and creating these shifts. I can't possibly, even with all the love in the world and all the best will in the world, start to tell you how to do every single element of that. There are like 88 exercises inside the complete journey. And obviously I can only share a tiny little piece of that with you today. So please know I'm sharing it with you to give you a context, and the purpose of this is so that you're going to create a little tick list. We're going to sway on where your stuck points are so that you understand where you're at, what you need to work on, and it will give you a running order so that you know what to approach first and how you can go into doing that. So does that sound fair? Does that sound like fun? I hope that it will. Now, remember, we've been talking about this for the last 2 days, these 3 flows of energy. Everything in our life works in exactly the same way. So, our energy is either in flow, in resistance, or in reversal. And the same thing applies to the way in which we are trying to change our lives. Most people are going about changing their lives in the wrong way. Now, if you remember, I showed you this image of the energy evolution on day 1 and on the original, the pre video too. But this journey is designed to specifically work with the way your energy works. Most people are trying to go about this in the wrong way. So when I usually meet someone, this is generally what their life looks like. They're thinking something along the lines of, I'm going to build this amazing successful business, or get this amazing job, or this brilliant career so that I can earn loads of money. That's what these 3 things. Then when I've got loads of money, I'll be able to live the lifestyle I want, have the relationships I want, and be able to buy the home and live in the environment that's really lovely and beautiful, and I'll have the house that I've always dreamt of. Then I can look at my physical health, and I'll have time to do my yoga and eat the foods that I want and drink the water I want. And then I'll be able to change the way that I'm thinking and the way that I'm feeling. And then I'll be able to have time to connect to myself. It looks something like that. Now, if you look at the arrows along the bottom of that picture, which way are they going? Are they in flow Are they in resistance or are they reversed? The obvious answer is they're reversed. The energy is flowing in the wrong direction. It's flowing backwards. Now, it's the complete opposite energy of what you actually need in order to change your life. In order to change your life, we have to start at the beginning, and it begins with your soul. It starts with your spiritual connection, yourself connecting to who you are and this big electron mat of energy that we know is all around us. Then you focus on your thoughts, then your emotions, then your physical health. Once you've got all of those four things, that's the element that we talk about as being your soul. It's the part of you that you can't share with anybody else. Nobody else experiences your physical health. Nobody else experiences your emotions or the way that you think. Nobody else experiences your soulful spiritual connection. All of that is what makes up you. It's what you define as being the you that you see as separate from everything else, although we know that we're not separate. Then you've got the strength and energy to start looking at your life, to start looking at the environment that you live in, the relationships you have, and the lifestyle that you live. Are you having fun? Do you go on holidays? Are you inspiring yourself to learn something new? Very often these things get put to one side or parked in preference of us having to work or earning the money or putting our career as more important than our relationships and our home and our lifestyle. And yet the irony is we think that we want to go and earn all of that money so that we can go and have the holidays that we want and spend more time with the people that we love. And somewhere along the journey, we actually lose the relationships. We don't live the lifestyle along the way and we end up miserable anyway. So what I want to share with you is how to do this from an in-flow space. And that's exactly what this energy evolution journey is all about. It is a long journey. It is a 10-phase journey, but it works in a specific way for a specific reason. It's about creating more flow in every single area of your life. Imagine what it would feel like if all of those elements of your life were actually flowing in the direction that you wanted them to. If your relationships were how they wanted to be, if your physical health was how you wanted it to be, if you were able to live the lifestyle you wanted, you had the money that you wanted, you had the passion, the purpose, and you were making your impact in the world. All of them were moving in the direction that you want, the in-flow state. It really would be awesome. So this is a holistic approach. We look at your entire life because you aren't a single thing living your life in one single way. We are all exploring through so many different aspects of our lives all the time. Now, I know that you don't live your life in a linear fashion either, but the purpose of this is to give you a step-by-step way to approach changing your life. And that's why it takes 10 months. We can't work on all of it all at once. And if you try working on all of it all at once, it just ends up looking like a big mess of spaghetti and we end up not really getting anywhere. So it's about creating almost like an energetic spring clean, like you're going through your entire house and clearing out all of those cupboards, which we all have. We know we've all got those cupboards somewhere in our house full of rubbish. So the purpose of this is to bring more flow into everything you do so that everything feels easier. And as you want to start bringing in more money or doing the work that you want to do in the world, all of the other elements of your life are actually in flow. They're actually sorted. You're not going to be pulling yourself out of flow because there's some major drama in your relationship. You're not going to be having to pull yourself out of flow because you've lost the roof over your head or you're worrying about money. It means that you're actually able to focus because everything is flowing in the way that you want it to be. So, the wonderful thing I love about this is that it actually enables you to create like a domino effect on your energy. As we work through the 10 steps, imagine that you've got all of your universal element in flow. Then you've got your mindset in flow. Then you've got your emotions in flow. Then your physical health is in flow. And each time you're putting each of those elements of your life into the flow state, it means that your energy collectively gets stronger. So as you then start trying to change things outside of you, like your physical environment, your relationships, bringing in more money or making an impact in the world, it means you've actually got the strength in your own energy to create those shifts and changes that you want, rather than, like most people are doing, pushing and exhausting ourselves and making ourselves tired because we're pushing against our own energy. We're bringing all of ourselves with us, and it means that we can have a much greater impact much more quickly. So imagine this is like unlocking the gates along a river. You're increasing the amount of energy that's working with you rather than against you. So why do we work in the way that we do? Now you'll see here on this slide that we're looking back again at the aura and these different layers of our aura. Now, the reason that we start at the beginning, the reason that we start with your universal connection and we don't start with your work or your money, is because actually what we're doing is spring cleaning each of those levels of your aura so that you're raising your energy, you're releasing the resistance. If you remember back to day one, when we talked about your aura being this recording device that's carrying every single experience you've ever had, if you're going to try and start manifesting a new relationship or manifesting more money or creating success in your business, and you're still carrying limiting thoughts and beliefs, if there's stuff going on in your energy that takes you out of flow, if your emotions are in that place of feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, you can't start making the impact that you want in these big areas outside of your life whilst your energy is in that way. So the reason that we begin with universal connection is because we're actually starting with the outermost layers of your aura. So element 1 is your universal connection, and it talks to all of the elements of ourselves that make up the spiritual part of who we are. Our past lives, our spirit guides, if you believe in those, things that have happened to us before, things that might be happening on a soul or karmic level. Once we've sorted all of those pieces out, then you're able to move on to element 2, which is the mental level of our aura, the mental level of our energy. Then you can move on to emotions, which is the emotional level of our aura, the emotional level of our energy. Then we can start affecting our physical health. If we're trying to make changes in our physical health, say someone's got a physical health condition or a disease, it hasn't just started there. It didn't just start at a physical level. It started because we had things going on in these different levels of our aura and different levels of our energy, and we didn't deal with them on a mental or emotional level, and it had to get to the point where it's manifested on a physical level. So in order to change what's now happening on a physical level, we now need to shift what happens on an emotional, energetic and mental level first, so that we can free up our energy. We can release those things from our energy that have created this physical thing in the first place. So imagine every time that we're working on an element, you're releasing the resistance in your aura, which means that you expand. It means your energy becomes lighter. It means your energy is more in flow, and you're able to start redirecting your own energy to influence things outside of you. When you're in that resistance state, it draws your energy in, it pulls you in, it makes you heavy, it makes you feel low. It means you don't actually have the energy to influence things behind you anyway. So that's why we begin with the universal piece, because we're actually working on cleaning all of those different levels of our aura, getting our physical body in the right space before we start stepping outside of us. So there is a specific order, and that's the reason why we do it. After that, then you can start working back out again. So your physical space connects to your physical level of your aura. Your relationships connects to the emotional level of your aura. And your mental level connects to the lifestyle element of your energy. And so we're, again, building ourselves back up to move our energy back out and expand away from ourselves, before you start trying to manifest with things like money, making an impact in the world, and your passion, your purpose with your work. So it all works with the flow of your energy rather than flowing against it. Now, this is very often the reason why people are so exhausted with trying to change their lives, because they've literally been pushing against the way that their energy works. So all of that I've said is the reason that we use EAM to get yourself in flow first. We want to make sure that your energy is in flow. We want to make sure that you're coming from the right place. And we want to give you a sensible starting place to begin, rather than jumping to things right at the end and trying to change those things outside of you when your energy isn't in the strong enough place to begin with. So, all of that said, I want to talk to you about the 10 key areas and what's really involved in each of them. Because today, your exercise for day 3, you're going to use the worksheet to sway on which of these areas in your life are in flow, in resistance, or in reversal. And then from that, you can make yourself a little to-do list. You can use the sway to help you clarify what is it that's stuck, what is it that's out of flow, what is it that's in flow. So I want to talk you through the 10 key areas, what they really mean, so that you know what you're swaying on when you get to the end of the exercise. So that's what I want to lead you through right now. So if you haven't already, then please feel free to go and download the worksheet that we've got so this makes sense as we're talking through, or make sure that you write yourself some notes. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water, 1 second, and then we will begin.